We can proceed.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Before we start the General Assembly, we would like to inform you that you could please select language in the box on the bottom right on your screen. And please feel free to use any of the 2 languages when you are taking the floor. This is the first time we have an online GA, and for it to be clear and smooth meeting, we ask you to take into account these considerations.
Oh.
We ask you to please have your microphone on mute when you are not addressed to speak. Please turn your camera on. We miss you all and enjoy seeing you. 3, if you'd like to take the floor, write in the chat and Jorge will keep the record and inform me who would like to speak.
No, I'm sorry.
So with that, with these considerations, it is time for us to start our General Assembly. Dear members, colleagues and friends of ICHNGO Forum, as the chair of ICHNGO Forum, I would like, together with my colleagues of the steering committee of ICHNGO Forum, to welcome you to the 2020 General Assembly. We are really glad to see all of you here, especially those of you who are on complicated time zones, so to say. And thank you very much for your effort. I would like to introduce to you my steering committee colleagues. And we will start with group 1, which is actually me. My name is Meg Nemgård, and I am from the storytelling network of Kronoberg. And I represent Western Europe and North America, which is group 1. And I have been in the steering committee for 2 years, and this is my 2nd year. And during this year, I have been the chair of the steering committee. I am, as I said, from the Storytelling Network of Kronoberg, and we have been accredited since 2014. And also we run a program called the Land of Legend, which is on the Good Safeguarding Register since 2018. With that, I give the floor to Kalyan, Group 2.
Kaloyan. Kaloyan. No. It's 2 computers. It's too much.
Okay.
No, we cannot hear you, Kaloyan.
Sorry.
Yeah.
My name is Kaloyan Nikolov. I'm charging in group 2 for Eastern Europe. I'm a representative of European Association of Folklore Festivals. This association is united more than 500 folklore festivals, not only in Europe, but from Brazil to Mongolia too, and China, India, and so many other countries. The most objective of the association is to promote the ICH by the events and new media technologies. And now, with the help of European Association, we are here in a Zoom platform for this meeting of General Assembly of ICHNGO Forum. As we realized in the COVID time, that the festive events is the most powerful tool for sharing of knowledge, and we can meet each other hand in hand and eye in eye. Thank you very much, and I want to give a floor to the Jorge Gustavo for the group 3.
Thank you very much, Kaloyan. My name is Jorge Gustavo Caicedo. I'm from La Enciclopedia del Patrimonio Cultural y Material, which is ICHNGOnet, and we're a non-government organization from the Region 3, which is Latin America and the Caribbean. We work in many fields for safeguarding ICH, especially with law and property rights and stuff like that. So it's an honor to be here, and especially in these challenging new interfaces. Now I give the floor to my peer, Don Juan Choi, from the Center for Intangible Cultural Studies, Group 4.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you, Jorge. My name is Don Juan Choi from the Center for Intangible Cultural Studies, representing the Asia Pacific region. This is my second year, and so I'm very happy to be with you all together. In particular, CICS is managing the second website of the ICHNGO Forum, called ICHNGOnet. I think we will have an opportunity also to provide the updated system of the ICHNGOnet. Okay, thank you very much. As introducing my colleague Butto from Group 5. Please, Butto.
I'm not sure if Butto was able to join us actually, so we pass on to Reem instead.
Reem. Mm-hmm.
Have we lost her too?
Yes.
Yes.
Butto is.
Yes, Reem is sick in COVID, so we go on to Naila instead.
Okay, thank you, Meg. Hello to everyone. I'm Naila Ceribasic, and I represent International Council for Traditional Music, and through ICTM also the pool of international organizations. This is my second year in the committee, and also I'm among 3 of us outgoing members. ICTM is an organization in formal consultative relationship with UNESCO since its establishment in 1947. And so, I mean, for now, I think it's enough. Thank you. Meg.
Thank you, Naila. And with all that, we would like to welcome you all. So we go on to the agenda. Can you please share it on the screen for us?
I'm sorry.
So the agenda has been sent out to you, and it has been published on our webpage together with the other documents that we have, and both in English and French. And first is the opening, and then we have the adoption of the agenda, and we have the adoption of the minutes from the last year General Assembly. We have the report of the steering committee. We have the financial report of the steering committee. We have election of new members of the ICHNGO Forum steering committee. We have ICHNGO Forum plan of activities for 2021. Decision on exceptional basis regarding Article 21 of the bylaws. other businesses, and the last item is closure. May we adopt the agenda? Jorge, is there someone who'd like to take the floor?
I'm sorry, I need to check the chat. I'm sorry about that. There it is. Okay, no, it's okay. It's okay.
So I hear no objection. The agenda is adopted. So we pass on to item 3, adoption of the minutes of the 2019 General Assembly of the ICHNGO Forum. There were 2 documents there because we did not finish our general meeting last year in one day. We had to continue to the following day. And these documents has also been sent out, and they are in English and French on our webpage. So I now ask you if we may adopt these minutes. Anyone who'd like to take the floor?
No, there is no one in the chat.
So I hear no objections, and the minutes are adopted. We now go on to item 4, the report of the steering committee on its work from December 2019 to December 2020. And this document again has been sent out and been on our webpage. And I give the floor to my vice chair, Jorge, to present the report.
Thank you very much, Meka. I will be brief and just pointed out the headlines since we all had the documents before by email. So I'll start just pointing out that we had active meetings all year long. The steering committee will hold a Zoom meeting each month at the beginning of the month, and even 2 meetings when we're close to the General Assembly. We're also endorsing both websites, the ICHNGOForum.org and ICHNGOnet, who as well are working all year long, and also working groups who would like to encourage to be more proactive in the websites. They also work all year long. So we have the different programs. I will go through them. First of all is, well, of course, the agenda. We have the websites, as I mentioned. We have social media. We have the Facebook page and the Twitter as well. And in the case of the working groups, now that we have are these ones, I should add Mati Hakamati has this new working for more balance groups working group, and it will be added. I'm sorry about not putting it on the report, but well, we have ethics, we have research, we have global results framework, we have gender and intellectual property, and of course, delighted ways of sharing safeguarding experience, as well as information and communication technology. We also had the participation with the International Museums Project, which was conducted by Meg Nolan and Reem Sak. And then, of course, we had the elections for this year's steering committee members, who was run by Michael Atwood Mason and Carlos Villaseñor and Anandya Bhattacharya, who were members of the electoral board. We also had the newsletter. We had 2 numbers of the newsletter. This was coordinated by Buto, 4, thank you. Thank you, Naila. 4 newsletters coordinated by Buto. 3. Oh, you're joking with me. Okay, 3 newsletters. I'm sorry about that. And then, of course, the wonderful report, also coordinated by Naila Seribasic, who, with the participation of all of you, a great document with highly great receivement from from the floor of the 15 COM. They were very keen to listen to it. We have a lot of endorsement from the state parties, so I would like especially to congratulate Naila and all the people who participated in the report, because this, for most, has been one of the best highlights of the ICHNGO Forum, and really give us a heads up for what's coming for next year. So there's also, we have the ICH in emergencies on COVID-19. This was a forum made also with the UNESCO Center. Well, it was a call and it was very nice. And then we had the role of the accredited NGOs within the 2003 convention. And so we talk about certain things. And of course, Meg did the statement on the 8th General Assembly on Paris, which was also held online. And then we had previous and post-session online reflections for the 8GA, which was very important, and thank you for your participation in that regard. And finally, we had the ICHCAP conference on November 12th and 13th. It was talking about resilience in crisis, and we had a lot of great speakers and a chance to discuss what's going on with this pandemic all around the world. Finally, we have a lot of online activities for this 15COM. You already been in the mini symposium and being with the global framework, and also with Heritage Alive. So we'll keep doing some activities the rest of the week. So I encourage you to participate in them. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you for that. You have heard the report. May we adopt the report? Anyone like to take the floor?
No.
No. I hear no objection. The report of the steering committee is adopted. So now we go on to the next item. 5 is the financial report of the steering committee. And the document is JA 2020 financial report. And I give the floor to our treasurer, Dong Wang, to present the report.
Hello, everybody. I'm pleased to present the financial report of the forum. The next page is number 1. Next page, please. Okay. That's right.
No, it's just you have to give it. We don't have it in written.
You don't have it? I'm sorry. Perhaps I can, could you? Okay. I will share my document. Can I share? Okay. Okay. Okay, number 1, income, the status of income and expenses. So, from January 2017 to October 2020 is shown in the report. The income were 14,256 euros sponsored by the Indonesian government in 2017, and 30 euros received as a membership fee in 2017. So it's a total of 14,286 euros. In terms of expenditures, 8,250 euros was spent in 2017 and 1,639 euros 11 cents in 2018, and 110.67 euros from January to October 2019. From November 2019 to October 2020, 122.40 euros was spent. The total expenditure of the past 4 years is 10,122.18 euros. Meanwhile, 112.40 euros spent between January 2019 and October 2020 was a bank fee of Société Générale Bank in Paris. Since January 2018, there has been no expenditure other than bank fees for past 2 years. Number 2, as I reported at last year's General Assembly, the balance as of 31 October 2019 was 4,286.22 euros. From November 2019 to October 2020, 122.40 euros was spent on a bank fee. As of October 31st, 2020, the balance is 163.82 euros. Number 3, contributions to the ICHNGO Forum activities this year. The Forum has received 2 gracious contributions for our activities from Korea and Quebec, Canada. First, ICHCOP, a Category 2 center in Korea, has provided support for co-hosting the 2020 ICHNGO conference online under the title of ICH and Resilience, which are held from 12 to 13 November. Second, Secure VP from Quebec, Canada, provides simultaneous English-French online interpretation service for 3 sessions: Forum's General Assembly, Symposium on ICH and Tourism, and presentation of candidates for the steering committee. Taking this opportunity once again, I'd like to express our sincere thanks to ICHCOP and CQVP on behalf of the Forum. This concludes the financial report. Thank you.
So you have heard the report, the financial report. May we adopt this report? Is there anyone who'd like to take the floor?
Just give me a second. Okay. No, it's okay.
So I hear no objection. The financial report is adopted. So we move on to item 6. And that is the election of the new members of the ICHNGO Forum Steering Committee. So I give the floor to the election board.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So this is Ananya. So along with myself, there was Dr. Michael Messon and Carlos as part of the board. So I'll start by sharing the elections, and then Michael will share some points, and finally Carlos will conclude. So I'm happy to share the results of the elections now. For international NGOs, I'll just ask Daniel. Daniel, do you have the graphic which can be shared on screen? The results. So if you can just share the mail we sent. So Mr. Robert Barron from International Society for Ethnology and Folklore. He is the winning candidate for international NGOs, and he got 50% of votes. Okay, so before I announce further, let me explain. There were 76 NGOs who voted, and one NGO voted for 2 international NGOs. So we discounted that vote. So in this slide, Daniel is showing the raw votes received. So actually what Robert received was 38 votes. So this is a raw vote. There is another slide after this. Let's skip this one. I'll explain. Then, no, skip this slide. Then Ms. Yun Chen from Fiat IFTA, she got 10 votes, which is 13% of the votes. Mr. Bohumil Straka from IAF, he got 4% of votes, 3 votes. And Ms. Monica Tomings, she got 24 votes, which is 32% of the votes. So the one NGO had voted both for Robert and Monica, so we discounted 1 vote from each of them. From Asia and Pacific, Dr. Janet Blake will become from Persian Garden Institute for Living Heritage, will become the next representative of Group 4. Janet received 35 votes, which is like 46% of total votes. The other candidates were Mr. Ravi Shahu from Sri Hanuman Vyam Prasarak Mandal. Ravi got 20 votes, which is 26%. Ms. Cholponai UG from ICHNGOnet Cultural Center, she got 21 votes, which is like 28%. So Janet will become the representative from Asia and Pacific group. From Western Europe and North America group, Laureate Turgeon got the maximum votes. Laureate Turgeon from Folklore Studies Association of Canada, he got 43 votes, which is like 57%. And Mr. Matti Hakamaki from Finnish Folk Music Institute, he got 32 votes, which is 42%. Daniel, if you can show the next page. Or I don't know whether you have the next page, but so that is the final result. So I congratulate, and because from the Africa group, there was no candidate. So Butho Nyathi from Amagugu International Heritage Center, Zimbabwe will continue to be the member of the steering committee. So now over to Michael. Michael, please take the floor.
Thank you, Anyana. It's we were very happy to see that there was good participation, roughly on par with previous years, and we did have this one hiccup with a person, one NGO voting twice, but in general, we felt like the process worked very well. This is particularly important because the bylaws are new, and we wanted to we were uncertain how they would function. Before I say anything else, I should also just say that Koloyan and Gabriele were incredibly supportive throughout the process as we were trying to figure out what the right technology was and to test it. And so we want to say thank you again to them. We've said that in various emails to them, but they really do merit special thanks in this context. Anyana and Carlos and I will later today send a letter to the steering committee with some suggestions about clarifications for the election rules. We feel like this is understandable given that this is the first time these rules were used and a number of issues have emerged. We will, of course, be making recommendations, but it will fall to the steering committee to decide whether or not to implement those changes in consultation with the larger General Assembly. We would like to clarify the process by which official results are announced. Our understanding is that they should come from the Electoral Board, and in this year there was a slight confusion about that, and so we want that to be clarified. We would also like to clarify the role of individuals and organizations advocating and campaigning for candidates. And we certainly understand that that is a normal part of a democratic process and is in line with the freedom of expression. We would like that to be clarified in the voting rules. Finally, we wanted to suggest that point 6 of the electoral guidelines be clarified. That's the point that deals with desired and required aspects of the profile of the candidates. We found ourselves in a number of cases asking ourselves whether people would actually be able to serve effectively because they lacked some of those desired characteristics. So, as I said, we'll be sending a letter later today or tomorrow to the steering committee with these recommendations more formally, but we wanted to share them with you all now in the spirit of transparency. Carlos?
Have we lost him? Or is he with us? Carlos, can you hear us?
Questa presunzione di uscire lì che non esce nessun altro. Come? Escono
Thank you,
solo questi del comitato che stanno dirigendosi.
Excuse me. No. Thank you, Michael. I was with my microphone muted. But well, I want to thank again to Gabriel Desiderio and Kaloyan Nikolov for all the technical support, mainly in this very specific moment in which technology is in the center of our work, and they help us to develop the tools that were needed in this new moment, and very good tools that not also allowed a wider participation of the NGOs, but it gave transparency and certainty in all the process. I also want to thank Don Juan Choi and Lauriel Toujon for helping with the translation. It was important for the Electoral Board to count on them, to the steering committee for their support and their constant help, and but of course all the candidates for coming forward, because it's not easy to decide to give time to this work, but it's very important and it's very helpful for the life of our organization. But of course, all the 76 NGOs who voted and make this process possible. Thank you very much. Thank you to my partners of the Electoral Board, and well, congratulations to the elected NGOs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for this. And I also would like to congratulate the newly elected members of the steering committee. And thank you, the election board, for all your work. As you already have said, this was a challenge for us to find a new way of conducting these elections. And we tried this year and it worked. So let's see what we do in the future. But you have done a great work. Thank you so much. But I also like to thank all of you who voted, because the voting system is, of course, important for us to build a stronger and more transparent and inclusive organization. So thank you all. And once again, congratulations to you new ones. So you have heard the names of the new steering committee, and with that, we pass on to the next item. And that is...
Excuse me, Meg.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Is
yes.
someone like to take the floor?
Albert was suggesting that the person elected give an acceptance speech.
Of course we will. So let's start with Robert. The floor is yours, Robert.
Well, thank you very much, everybody, for your confidence in me, and I'll be honored to serve you. I represent the International Society for Ethnology and Folklore. We're an organization with members in 49 different countries, including researchers and administrators and curators and many people who work with communities in safeguarding their ICH. And our origins trace back 92 years. So looking forward to serving you with the extraordinary members of the committee. And thank you so much for all the great work that the outgoing members of the steering committee have done. I'm sure we have our work cut out for us this year, because it's a exciting turning point in the development of the ICHNGO Forum, with the interest that was expressed the other day, yesterday, I guess 2 days ago, by the Intergovernmental Committee and the Secretariat in supporting our work and expanding our advisory functions. So thank you.
Thank you, Robert. We move over to Janet.
Well, thank you very much, Meg. And obviously, thank you to those of you who voted to support us to be members of the steering committee. And I'm from the NGO Persian Garden Institute for Living Heritage based in Tehran. And our NGO works primarily within Iran. We do hope to expand a bit into countries of our sub-region if we can too, especially Persian language countries. And I also, as some of you may know, have had quite a lot of experience with the development and drafting and implementation of the convention. So I hope that's a background that I can bring to the table and that can be helpful in the future. And it is, as Robert mentioned, it's exciting that we're now thinking about expanding the role of the forum with regard to its advisory role to the committee. I'd be delighted to do what I can to support that, but whatever you require me to do, then I'll be ready to do it. Just to finish by saying it's definitely a hard act to follow with what the previous members of the committee have done. So, both excited and somewhat with trepidation, I join the continuing members, and I look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Janet. Laurier, the floor is yours. Is he not here? Laurier?
I'm muted, sorry. Bon, désolé. Merci. Merci. Je voulais d'abord dire que je suis très heureux de pouvoir représenter l'Europe de l'Ouest et puis l'Amérique du Nord sur le comité de pilotage. I would like to, of course, thank the people who supported me, supported my application, and thank them for their confidence. But I'd also like to thank all of the other voters because I think we had great participation this year. There were 76 people voting, which is about up by about 25%, I would say, compared to past years where we had like between 45 and maybe 50 people voting. So this is very encouraging. I'd also like to thank the Electoral Board for the work that they've done. It was a very challenging operation, I would say, to organize elections during the pandemic, and I think it was very well done. Thank you so much for taking up this challenge. I'd also want to thank, congratulate the people who were elected, of course, but thank all of the participants because, I've realized that it's not, and I think we all realize that it's not such an easy decision to participate in elections because, of course, not everyone can win. But I think it's a great victory for democracy and for the forum. I think it gives us an opportunity, all of the members an opportunity to participate through the vote and to not only participate in the voting, but also participate in discussions that are about the campaigns and the programs the different people are proposing. So I really do look forward to working with the older and the new members of the steering committee. Et je voulais donc encore remercier les membres du bureau des élections pour le travail qu'ils ont fait. C'était, je pense, un grand défi qu'ils ont très, très bien relevé. Alors, merci beaucoup. Puis merci aussi aux membres qui ont travaillé pendant toute l'année dans le comité de pilotage. Je crois que ça a été une très, très bonne année. On a accompli beaucoup de choses. Vous avez été des très bons leaders de notre groupe. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you so much, Laurier. And I agree. Thank you for all those of you who candidated. It's really important that we have many candidates to vote amongst. So with that, we go on to the next item, which is item 7. And it's the agenda, on the agenda, item 7 on the agenda, and it's the ICHNGO Forum Plan of Activities for 2021. And that has also been sent out and published on our web page in English and French. And I give the floor to Jorge to present it.
Thank you very much. So as you can see, this is the report in reference to ICHNGO Forum report for 15COM and its draft decision, as well as taking into account Forum's plan of activities that was approved last year. A steering committee proposes to give a special emphasis during 2021 to the following aspects. So we have continue with the advisory functions to the committee on specific thematic issues. This includes more active contribution to the statutory sessions through the forum reports and intervention on specific agenda items. We have elaboration of ways and means to strengthen the network of ICHNGOs in underrepresented regions and to overcome unbalanced geographical distribution of NGOs accredited to the convention. We also have the development of capacity building material intended specifically for NGOs carried out in collaboration with the Secretariat of the Convention. This, of course, depending on available resources. And we have a more active involvement of the forum in the second cycle of regionally based periodic reports, and more broadly speaking, in follow-up. This is reporting and monitoring uninscribed elements. This will be done in close collaboration with ICH communities, groups, and individuals who are concerned. Then we have the participation in the project Culture Beyond Borders, guided by the network of European Museums Organization. This is NEMO. That is depending on whether the project will be accepted by the funding agency. The outcomes of these 5 aspects will be communicated to the public and discussed through meetings, symposiums, and publication, as well through the forum's website and social media. We also plan to organize our annual symposium and capacity building prior to 16COM. We hope we can see all of us in a physical way. Then the forum will prepare a report on the state of safeguarding ICH and the role of ICH NGOs in the region selected by UNESCO for 2021. The forum will prepare its report for 16COM. And besides from the above activities, the steering committee will also manage all additional tasks, duties, and responsibilities which are prescribed by the bylaws. We also encourage to all coordinators of the working groups, Heritage Lab, and regional groups to submit their annual report their annual plan, I'm sorry, to be published in the forum's website and social media. That's it, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. You have heard the report. May we adopt this plan of activities for 2021? Anyone who'd like to take the floor?
Let me just check. I'm sorry, close the chat. I'm sorry. As part, no problem.
So I hear no objection and the plan is adopted. So now we address item 8, decision on exceptional basis regarding Article 21 of the bylaws. At its general meeting in 2019, the ICHNGO Forum decided to adopt the decision on exceptional basis to suspend the application of Article 21 of the bylaws until the next General Assembly of the ICHNGO Forum. Given the obstacle caused by the pandemic and the online format of the 2020 General Assembly, the steering committee suggests prolonging this decision on exceptional basis until the General Assembly in 2021. And at the same time, it suggests to establish an ad hoc working group to prepare a background note on pros and cons of the application of Article 21 and to submit it to the General Assembly not less than 4 weeks prior to the General Assembly in 2021. So this is a proposal from the steering committee. This has also been sent to you in advance. And I ask you if there will be anyone who like to take the floor or if we may adopt this proposal.
There are two, can you listen to me? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Oh, there are two interventions. Antoine would like to propose that the ethic group work on Article 21 till next year. Hannah will like to take the floor, and Albert is mentioning that he wants to ask if there's a possibility for the working groups to present something of their plans. I think it could be possible, Albert, on other business. I think now the only person who would ask for the floor is Hannah.
Okay, so I leave the floor first to Hannah.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you, Meg, and welcome to everyone. Well, I believe this is a good decision to postpone this discussion, as this is a very valid topic, but we have to take into account all complexities, especially related to regional incapability for many of NGOs to also due to financial reasons to participate in the UNESCO meeting. So I offer myself to help you to work on this issue. I believe we can form a new group to do it. And I would be happy to work with anybody and present and prepare a more detailed report on the issue of the conflict of interests and its contextual situation related to differences in the regional capacities of different geographical regions. Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah. I think it has been sufficient several cases that a member of the steering committee coordinates the work of such a group. So I will actually give the task to the steering committee to do so. But at the same time, I'm also thinking, since Antoine also writes that we have a working group on ethical aspects or on ethics, and since there are ethical aspects in this Article 21, I think it will be important that the working group on ethics is deeply involved in the work of this ad hoc working group. but of course, anyone who like to join this working group are welcome to contact the steering committee. So I hear no objections to this decision that we prolong it, and I will leave the task to the new steering committee to form this group. Robert would like to say something.
Yes, thank you. I hope you can hear me now. Because the code of conduct and a code of ethics being developed by the ethics committee concerns the steering committee, I think the steering committee would have conflict of interest about certain matters in these documents. So I would support an independent body dealing with it so that there's not this particular conflict.
Okay, thank you. Janet would also like to speak.
Thank you, Meg. Just to say that whichever organ, as it were, takes this on, and I do agree with the feeling it should be independent from the steering committee. I would strongly urge, as Hannah has already suggested, that the geographical representation aspect of the membership should be a priority, because this is an issue that touches on different local conditions, particularly political ones in different regions. Thank you.
Yes, thank you all for your words. But let's say that, I mean, the steering committee itself doesn't need to be in the working group, of course, but it needs to be, it needs to someone hold onto it. So I still suggest that the new steering committee afterwards decide on how they want to go about it, if they want to, who they want to give the task to form this ad hoc working group. Can we agree on that we prolong this Article 21 as it's stated on the screen? I hear no objection to that. So it's prolonged and an ad hoc working group will be formed. So we carry on to item 9, which is other businesses. And we have the Center of Intangible Culture Studies who would like to take the floor first.
Okay, my name is Sunchul Park, and we are managing the one website which is involved the ICH inventory and event and so on. And on that system, any person who is our members can upload their events and so on. Anyway, our system is updated. That system is open end of this year or early of next years. But first, we want to introduce our system. One of my the members, the Hong Xin-hua, will introduce our system.
Thank you, Professor Park. And before I begin, I would like to thank the steering committee members and the chair for giving me the opportunity to present about the recent updates to ICHNGOnet. And congratulations to all the newly elected SC members. My name is Shinhwa Hong. I'm an International Affairs Manager here at CICS, and I will briefly mention some updates to the ICHNGO.net. ICHNGO.net has been approved by NGO Forum as a tool of communication, inventorying, information sharing, and networking for all accredited NGOs. Since 2018, CICS has been working as a technical assistant of the ICHNGO.net, and with the recent visualization updates, our goal is to make better understanding of all accumulated ICH data. I would like to just share the screen to show some of the updated changes to the ICH NGO. One second, please. Okay, can everyone see this? Okay, I think this is being shared. So this was what the ICHNGO.net looked like previously to the before the update. And here is the renovated version of the ICHNGO, which will be fully operational by the end of December of this year. The ICHNGO has renewed the overall design and layout and some functions such as word trend, word cloud, and auto summary. I'll be going over them as examples here. In the monthly SC meeting, you can see the word forum has been trending. And the graph is showing the number of times this exact word has been used according to the given time period. The word trend function can help the researchers analyze the data with the given word by the user. And here are in the bottom are the minutes of the SC meetings. And when you click on them, you can see the original transcripts of these steering committee meetings. And when you click on the cloud, you'll be able to get an automated summary on the bottom, as well as the word cloud. And as you can see, the cursor, when I go over the cursor of the word committee, you'll be able to see that it was mentioned 12 times in this particular meeting that was held on November 17th. Words that are used more than 3 times from the search results are displayed. And the word size is related to the frequency. Larger means more frequent. And so CICS is honored to make this webpage a useful and effective online communication space for all NGO members here today. And it is truly our hope to see many of our NGO members update to ICHNGO.net. Thank you very much.
Thank you for this. So anyone who has a question?
Sina Hong, could you show the word cloud on the screen?
Sure.
Yeah.
Here it is.
So we collected the documentation from ICHNGO forums. I think there's 3 kinds of documentations. One is, I don't know what is the meaning of minutes and minutes documentations. And also you have the ICHNGO inventory, something like documentations. And I think there's 3 kinds of documentation from ICH forum, but I don't remember exactly what is that. But we want collect those documents and analyze the documents by AI technique. So there's two kinds of technique. One is the word trend, the other one is word cloud. So if you see that, you will more understand what you did through the documentations. Anyway, this website will open end of this year, so you have to wait. Also, all kind of documentation and some informations can be uploaded by yourself if you are the member of ICH Forum. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anyone having any questions about what we just heard? Okay, so thank you so much. We have other businesses as well. Jorge, if you go back to that slide, please.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was reading the, okay, oh, come on. Give me a second, I'm sorry. Before the words from the steering committee, we can go to the working group on research. I'm sorry about that.
Yes. So
yes, is our chairpersons of our working group. Jose, Josie?
Yes. No, but it's a research. Albert asked for the word. Thank you very much, Professor Park.
Yes, hello. I asked for the floor because, well, it's something of a tradition that the working groups will present something about their work and about their meetings during this intergovernmental committee period. And at least I would like to say something about the working group research, and perhaps other working groups will have the same desire. But what I would like to say about the working group research is that we will have our meeting on next Friday in the afternoon at 1:30 and or 12:30, sorry, and that we will discuss a mission statement. And this mission statement was presented to all of you on the website of the ICHNGO Forum yesterday. And of course, the purpose of this mission statement is to more or less formalize the workings of our group and what are we going to do this year and the years after that. This is one thing I would like to say, and the other thing I would like to say is that there was also already a suggestion by Jorijn and Martha Florent about working on the topic of our symposium of last Sunday. So there, Jorijn told us that she was working with her team on a toolkit about sustainable tourism, and she was wondering if it could be adopted also by our working group research to make it more an effort of which was worthwhile, not just for our low countries, Netherlands and Belgium, but also for the rest of the world. And I think I myself personally would like to applaud this initiative, and but we shall talk about this further on Friday. So these are the main things which I would like to say about the working group research. And I hope to see you all next Friday. Just now I noticed that Janet Blake asked me that if she was also allowed to join this meeting, and of course everyone is allowed to join this meeting. You are all very welcome, and it's on the same Zoom address as we are using now for this meeting. So I hope everyone will come next Friday.
Yes, indeed. All the working groups are open for anyone to join in. Thank you for that, Albert. Okay. Anyone having any questions for Albert? No? Okay, so we are getting closer to the end of this General Assembly, and I would also like to thank CQP White, who have provided English Friends interpretation for this General Assembly, as well as for the symposium and for the presentation of candidates last Sunday. It has been really good. We need to improve both our languages, so to say, in our meetings. So thank you ever so much for that. And I would like to thank all of you who have attended this meeting, and a special thank you to Gabriele De Sirio, who have been our webmaster and sent you all the emails and updated our webpage. You have done a fantastic work. There has been a hectic time for you, but thank you so much. And also I would like to thank CICS for their webpage, .net. I am impressed with all the work you are doing. And I would like to also thank the Secretariat and ICHNGOnet for the good collaboration that we have had during this last year together. And of course, I like to thank my steering committee members. It has been a great pleasure to work with you during these 2 years that we have been together. And since Naila, myself, and Dong Wang are leaving the steering committee, I would also like to give the floor to Naila first.
Yeah, thank you, Meg. Well, it was a great experience to serve in the steering committee. It was full of challenges, of collaborations, of negotiations, and ultimately of, I believe, benefits for the forum, for NGOs, and for the convention as a whole. For the last 12 months, I served as a secretary of the committee, what meant drafting minutes from our monthly meetings. It meant some correspondence, jumping in for help when needed, and coordination of some projects. This year, it was in particular the coordination of our report for 15Com, while last year I was actively involved in coordination of program for 15Com in Bogota and in the drafting of our statutory documents, the bylaws and the code of conduct. I think that the present steering committee made a solid ground for the work of the forum in the following years. In terms of advancing the network and collaboration between accredited NGOs, including NGOs from underrepresented regions, as well as in terms of broadening advisory functions to the Intergovernmental Committee, along with deepening collaboration with grassroots ICH communities, in particular, concerning the follow-up of elements inscribed on the two lists. And with the renewed composition of the steering committee, I have any single doubt that the steering committee will successfully lead the forum to new achievements, and I very much congratulate our successors, L'Oreal, Janet, and Robert. Let me also to say that personally, I would like to see the formation of a sort of monitoring center developed around inputs from the public, that is around correspondence from the public, as it is called in UNESCO vocabulary, meaning a center which would welcome and encourage such correspondence, which would verify information received, compare it with the information in official periodic reports, and on that basis, a center that would prepare its own annual reports. And by saying that, I do not mean a classical shadow reporting, because we have to take care of our hard-earned, currently relatively visible and prosperous place in the current system. That is, I think that the forum has to continue to act independently yet collaboratively, as it is written down in our code of conduct. And finally, let me just mention my colleague, Mari Agata Ozak. She's my colleague from the Executive Board of International Council for Traditional Music. And we in the ICTM are in the process of her taking over the role of ICTM main representative in the convention. And consequently, Maria Agata will increasingly more and more be involved in the work of the forum, while I'll serve as a support from the background when and if needed. But nevertheless, I really do hope to see you all in person so that we can toast for the well-being of the forum. Thank you.
Thank you, Naila. Dongwang, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm glad and honored to have worked with the steering committee for the past 3 years. It was an opportunity for me to understand the ICH more deeply and enrich my life. I hope that the forums and the SCC will develop further, in particular with the new members, as well as with the active participation of all the ICHNGO NGOs around the world. I believe that I would like to express also my gratitude to all those who have helped and worked hard for the forum, as well as Professor Hani Han and Professor Sunchal Park, and my colleagues from the CICS for their helps, assistances. I firmly believe that the forum will be further strengthened, in particular with the new members of the steering committee, as well as the valuable participation all of the members from the forum. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dongwang, and I do agree with you both. It has been 2 years of learning, and it has been 2 years of getting to know people around the world, and you who have been in the steering committee have become really dear friends of mine. We have gone through quite a lot, I have to say. We have actually lost a board member. We have worried about each other's health this year. We have debated, discussed, laughed. All kinds of feelings has been on our agenda. And we have met once at least, sometimes even more than once a month. And I will definitely miss our meetings. And I would really, really like to thank you all for this, and thank you for trusting me as your chair, and I could not have done it with all your help. So thank you, really. Last but not least, I would like to thank you all, the members of the forum, for the work you have done this year, but also previous year, because it's all the work we have done really together that led up to this great report that was presented and the warm welcome we received from the States on Monday. It was a big step forward for the forum, and it could not have been achieved without all of you and all the work we have done together throughout the years. So thank you ever so much. We have accomplished a lot. However, there are always more to be done. And I'm glad that we have a new steering committee, and I know you will do the job. And let me just borrow some few words from a person named Mr. Ingvar Kamprad. He's a Swedish guy, and he is the founder of a Swedish furniture company that you might have heard of. It's called IKEA. And he grew up here in the land of legends, and I actually know his grandson very well. And Mr. Ingvar Kamprad, he always used to end his meetings he had with his staff by saying, "Wonderful future, most things are undone." And with those words, I wish the new steering committee all the best, and I wish you happy holidays and a happy, healthy, and peaceful 2021. And with this, I declare this JR closed, but don't leave yet. But I declare it closed first. Now it's time for a group picture, but also before we do that, I would like to ask the new members, the new steering committee to stay on in Zoom, and also the old members of the steering committee just to stay on for a few words together. But now it's time for a picture. So let's see how we all look like. Are we at our best? Anyone like to put on more makeup or anything? Or are you prepared? Yes, do your hair. Who is the big photographer? Is it you, Kalyan? We all try to do screenshots together so we get as many pictures as possible. So what do we say in Jamaica to smile? Is it cheese or is it something typical? I don't know. Let's go for ICH is the best, isn't it? ICH, so smile everyone. I think we got some screen pictures there. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care, stay safe, and enjoy the rest of this COM meeting, and do go to our working groups meeting. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you, and bye-bye.
The people from the new steering committee, could you please stay